Welcome everyone to week 8, Tuesday Trash Talk. Intro music courtesy of my future mother and father-in-law. Thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Pearson, for the very bootacular card that they sent to us, and it's currently hanging on my fridge. It might be there for a while. Let's get into it, boys. Comish's Corner, first annual mid-season meetup coming this Sunday. Hope as many of you can make it as possible. I know it's not always, we have lives. It's not like football's the most important thing. You're wrong. Think about what's on the line here, boys. Glory, the cash, the 2020s and the hundreds, and also not to mention you get to burn your name onto that bitch and make up some super fucky rule like super flex or social rule. Speaking of social rule, let's get right into the Commish's corner. Man, social rule is slaying this week. We got Cody, Chris, and Kinzer all getting low waiver wires this week. Yikes! Not a good week to be to not showing up, boys. I tried to find ways to give you some grace, but no activity on sleeper. Nothing really anywhere else. Uh, can't do much about that. But it is only 1 week. It's one waiver, and that does not make a season. Unless your name's Kinzer and who's just saying fuck all 8 weeks, maybe even all 16. Who knows? Um, but yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Moving for the doldrums of the social rule. Let's get into the sleeper report. Yeah, boy. Let's see here. Oh, also, not to mention, at the meetup, I'm going to be giving everyone their week week trivia, weekly trivia beer prizes. Should be pretty exciting. Hopefully, you guys will just be drooling at the giant pile of beer that these guys will be able to pick from, and realize you should tune in more often. Just saying. Um, but yeah, get into the sleeper report. So I have a disagreement with this first one, best manager, which goes to Grim. And props to Grim for rocking it out for the first 7 weeks. But this is a weekly report. I don't think that Grim should be getting the best manager because literally everyone else on his bench is either injured, on a bye, or just playing awful. Hey, it's good enough starting roster to get you 7 wins. So, what would you rather have? So this week, I'm diverting from the sleeper report and giving it to the Greek. Made some excellent waiver moves during the week to make sure that his top players were handcuffed. Grabbing Latavius Murray, who came up with 29.5 points, ooh wee, and was the number one running back started on the week. And then also you take a look at his whole report, and he could have made a lot of different moves that put him into a really bad place. I think even Alan Lazard was in the starting lineup, and I think that he had the wherewithal to see that both Green Bay wide receivers came back last minute, and that's how we pulled out a win. So get on you, Greek. Going to the worst manager. Oh no. Um, well, actually, wow, this isn't even really that bad. The fact that my opponent, Project, could have got 115 points, didn't break 100. I mean, that sucks overall as a team. It still wouldn't have got him the win. But man, the fact that everyone else in the entire league is setting their lineups to that level, that was the worst. I mean, I think I took a look at his. It was one player. That's all. Like, what else? What else are you gonna do? Um, and that kind of brings us into our biggest blowout. Your glorious champion of the Commish's chair. Not so much champion, maybe future champion. Maybe that's why I just felt that like rise of power within me, or maybe just the Vikings will actually get a win the win this year. Just kind of made me get that energy. But biggest blowout, crushing it 152. First time I broke the 50s. I know, Grish, you're kind of feeling a type of way because I beat you by 1 point, but just be glad you didn't play me this week because how hurt would you be then? Um, Narrowest victory, again, our aforementioned quote unquote best manager of the week, Grim, keeping it close with Spencer. It was our game of the week. Spence, man, you had all the opportunity in front of you to take it. Grim only put up 117, but you put up less at 106. It was kind of a down week on a lot of teams. I thought was really interesting. A lot of our lower teams beating the upper teams, which put everyone at multiple wins. So this, let's get back into a competitive league. I remember last year at the end of the year. Also, hi babe. Yep, I see your little shadow poking in and out, and so will everyone on the thingy. Yes, yes, indeed. I felt your presence. I'm a Jedi. um, and moving on, highest score. We don't really need to go into that, but our lowest score, not only is he poopy by not showing up in Discord, but also he's pooing all over his team. Lowest score at 89 points, Mr. Kinzer. With them corncob butt plugs. That little poo emoji looks real good next to them butt plugs, bud. Just saying. Grish coming out, man, swinging 151, overachieving your projected points by 22%. Good on you, man. Gotta have that feel good. And then also, of course, below expectation. Wow, Kinzer was projected at 144. Ooh, 38% missed. Yikes. Um, all right. Well, that was a rather interesting report. Um, yeah, and then Graham, game of the week winner, man. So our Saco is just ravaging our entire league. Literally only two left remain in his revenge murderings, um, and really it looks like that. Um, let's see who's next. Looks like Codename. You're next, man. Um, let's see if you can pull it off. Grim is very projected to win at 134. I think it's one of the highest on the week. That is the highest projected on the week. Um, best of luck to you, bro. Shiza. And let's get into the weekly trivia. So it you know what, it kind of broke my heart a little bit. It got me right in the feels that no one participated in trivia last week. It might have been really shitty. Maybe you guys haven't been on that journey, that inner journey that gives you that insight to who your spirit animal really is. I've had a lot of time to think about my barelyness. So hey, I'll admit if I throw out a weak question, but I'm counting on you guys and your motivation for wanting beer and craft beer at that. It's not like y'all are getting Coors or anything like that. But let's hear it. So what is your hmm, when you're not sure if you already asked this question because it's kind of your thing. Oh man, you guys are watching the shame happen in real time. All right. Oh, it's too much. Ba 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 da 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 da. I don't really know how to. Hey, cool. Nope, I don't think I did it. Sweet. All right, and we're back. All right, so what is your favorite video game of all time and why? Um, I even need to think about this one for a little bit, but don't forget before Thursday kickoff. And this week, especially since I'm giving everyone their beer, coming up on Sunday. If you answer this and show up on Sunday, there's going to be a special prize awarded for you. So just take that as note, and I'm tallying everyone's beer totals up. I'm actually creating a point system because not all beers are created equally. Yeah, all right, moving onwards and upwards to our game of the week. Ba-ba-bum. Game of the week. So we got the Greek taking on the Grish, both coming up with their second win of the season. Good on you, boys. This one's important. It's really, really important. It's the difference between having the opportunity of having your team be at a um, neutral game script, being at 500, neutral record, not game script, Jesus, at a neutral record, being at 500 either week 10 or week 12. Week 10, you still have another 3 weeks after that to solidify your spot in the playoffs. Remember, there are 6 teams that go into the playoffs, so you still can get a good shot. The probability is that one of the teams that are currently sitting top 6 are going to drop, versus not being able to get your team at a neutral place until week 12, which would mean you would have to win pretty much out for the rest of the season to even get a shot at our glorious Ragnarok. So let's dive deep into these teams. So we have Greek coming in with his QBs of Jared Goff, Philip Rivers, and Mr. Theodore Bridgewater, who may be playing his last game as a Saints QB. I think it'd be really hard for the Saints to hang on to him if they're keeping Drew Brees into the next couple seasons. I don't know what his contract situation looks like, but it's versus Teddy gets Arizona. Phil is at Chicago. I'm not necessarily sure that that's going to be Greek's move. But then Goff is at Cincinnati before their bye. Yeah, um, I'm thinking that's looking like a pretty good, pretty good options there. Then we have Aaron Rodgers and Grish is rolling with just Aaron Rodgers right now. Grant you, he did throw up 50 points last week, which good on you, Grish, but just Aaron Rodgers. Okay. I'm gonna have to give the quarterbacks to Greek. Holy shit. Um, even with that juicy Kansas City matchup, it's going to be at KC, one of the loudest stadiums. It's going to be pretty hard, even for what's going to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Yeah, so 1 to Greek. Looking at running backs, Philip Lindsay, Todd Gurley, um, Melvin Gordon. Let's see here. Oof. Grish, I can barely keep track of your team, man. You, you guys move a lot. Damn. Versus Latavius Murray, Jamal Williams, and Greek always going real slim on the running backs. Yep, gonna have to hand that off to Grish. Philip Lindsay, great pass catching back. Gurley, they seem to be adding him a lot more into the receiving game and just in the game plan overall, and he seems like he's been doing rather well. They know when to give him breaks and when to not. Hopefully this week is not a break because, man, Cincinnati. Yeah, and Gurley could steal a couple tubs by just running the ball versus receiving the ball from Goff. We'll see. That one's really close, but I'm still going to have to give that edge to Grish. Wide receivers. Let's see here. We have Cooks, Shark, and Ridley. But Schuster's coming to Miami, getting not his first string quarterback, but at least a second string quarterback back at Miami. Cooks versus Cincy, and then Steve has the stack. DJ Chark, DJ Chark, DJ Chark. Absolutely dominating Calvin Ridley versus Seahawks. Matt Ryan may or may not play, but yeah, still gonna have to give the wide receivers up to Greek. The matchups are looking pretty solid. The QBs are there for him, and he has a pretty deep bench as far as the wide receivers, very much unlike his running backs. And then, as always, we don't really get into kickers and defenses here because, I mean, meh, and also waivers. Yeah, that's stuff and things. Well, that's our game of the week, boys. Grish with his Rasta Squad scoring 150 last week, and then Greek cooking some wins even when his bad Juju is sitting on a bye week. Good stuff. Well, hey, hope to hear from everyone Sunday. Please on Discord, let it be known if you're coming and what you're bringing. Just a reminder, I got you boys on the beer. Just need a little bit of food, and of course, your fantastic faces. Thanks, everybody. Also, please post for T3. Go get it.